Hey guys, it's June 2nd today, and I just filmed and uploaded my whip update, and I just did a little craft project in my room. I have to fall asleep very early, like 8 o'clock is ideal, and it's super bright out at 8 o'clock now. And also I face west, so even if I have my blinds all the way down, or I like to keep like a little bit of a gap at the bottom because I like seeing the lights like of the street once they're on, like street lights. But what I don't like is having the sunset just directly in my eyeball as I'm trying to sleep. So here's my little craft project for the day. So I just bought some poster board and I just taped it to my window, and we'll see how that works. I can tell you, excuse my gross mess, ugh, this is my lived-in bedroom. I can tell you it's already darker in here right now than it was last night at 8 o'clock, and it's like 2 in the afternoon. So I think this is gonna work really well for me. Also, I was hoping to stitch a little bit today on Blackberry Jam, finish that back stitching. Oh God, that's still from moving. And look what I come out here and find. Look at this couch hog. Huh? Just real sleepy, real tired, right? All sitting in my stitching spot. The blanket is the cat spot, because the blanket is the spot that's covered in cat hair. Not the rest of the couch, but I guess he's positioned himself right there. And look, he's real satisfied about it. Dexter! Dexter, you're in my stitching spot. He doesn't care. I started a new candle last night. It's the Georgia Peach. Oh, someone's up. Georgia Peach, and it smells amazing. It smells so good to me that it made me hungry last night. I was like, what's that smell? It smells delicious. It just smells like fruity peaches. So anyways, this is my situation right now on June 2nd. Wanted to stitch, but I'm gonna have to vacate that little monster from his spot. Hey guys, it's June 4th today, and I finished up the back stitching on that little sweetheart tree piece, and I did briefly, very briefly think about trying to beat it, but the linen, and you guys know how I feel about linen, it's very pretty. That gingham is very pretty. It's so like stretchy, and like it holds crease lines a lot, which is bad for me because I stitch in hand, and so the whole like left side of all my projects are just super creasy. I was gonna beat it, but it has really bad fold lines in it, and I figured I should probably iron it before I try to beat it. And actually, this should be the rare project where I iron it and then it stays looking like it's ironed, because it's so small that I can probably beat it without rolling it up, like I do when I stitch in hand. But I don't have an iron. When I moved out, I didn't buy an iron. That probably tells you something about the kind of clothes I own. Very low maintenance. Have I ever not been wearing a tank top in like any video I've ever filmed? I have easy clothes. I don't have a job that requires me to wear nice clothes. So I tend to wear and own like super lazy, low maintenance clothes. So no iron for me. I am going to go to my parents' house on Monday though. My mom and I are going to watch a little bit of Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, and I'm going to take over some leftovers, I think, because this is weird, but maybe you guys will understand if you are also single people and you live on your own. I really wanted to try this recipe for like a pesto chicken casserole, and I did try it and it turned out really well and I really like it, but it's like a 9x13 casserole, and I know I could freeze it. But I'm bad at that. If I freeze things in individual portions, my freezer is not humongous and it's mostly full with frozen food already, and B, I'm so bad at like getting it out and actually eating it. I don't know what it is. I have such great plans to like freeze things, and then it just doesn't work for me. The thing that does work for me is if I make like meals, like if I cook like 3 chicken breasts one day and I steam a bunch of vegetables and I make rice, and then I make little like pre-done meals and just put them in my fridge. I will eat one every day until they're gone. But for some reason, like remembering to get something out of the freezer is like too difficult for me. So I ate about half of it, and I'm gonna take the other half over to my parents, and we're all gonna have supper on Monday night. Supper that I made, but I made it like 2 days ago. I was kind of I don't know what word to use, not really self-conscious and not really nervous, but just like I was really hesitant to try recipes that I wanted to try that made a bigger amount of food, because I knew that I would just end up throwing out a lot of it, or getting rid of it in some way. And so I told my mom that, and she was like, well, we would love leftovers. And that made me so happy. I'm pretty sure what I texted her was, like, you just gave my confidence such a boost. I love you so much. Like, that was so sweet of her. And she was like, no, I mean it. If you come bring your casserole over, we'll eat it over here. So the point of that ramble was to say that I am going to my parents' house on Monday night, and my mom has an iron that I used for many years. So maybe I'll iron that blackberry jam piece while I'm over there. I almost started something new yesterday. What is wrong with me? I didn't. My haul came in, and I really wanted to start one of the patterns that I got, but I didn't. Instead, I got out peacock pinwheels, which I think I said in my last whip I was not feeling super keen on because it was 1/1, I think. But here's the thing, I pulled it out last night, and it's kind of perfect for stitching on the couch. It is 1/1, and it's tiny, and sometimes it can be hard to focus on depending on what part of the day it is. Like right now is perfect because it's pretty bright. But the thing that's great about it is that it's one color stuff. It's just, there's like 6 colors in that whole pattern. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 colors in that whole pattern. And so I can just cut a super long length of something and just stitch with that one color. I totally forgot about that. So in that way, it's much easier than like my Mirabilia. So that's good. I only stitched on that last night. I'm going to give it a couple nights, and we'll see if I get re-energized about that. Right now, I am currently watching a little bit of Emily, Eclectic Possessions, her vlog / whip update. I just call everything a vlog now. And yeah, I want some proof. See, you can't see. And you can't see Emily because she's behind that beautiful whip, but I swear it's her. And the cat is down there, sleeping. And that's my haul that came in. Those are all my books that I just got, and then that little yellow envelope is the 1, 2, 3 stitch stuff. So I'm hopefully gonna film that tomorrow. Hey guys, guess what day it is? It's June 21st today. And I just looked back through my camcorder, and I acknowledge that I have not vlogged in like over 2 weeks, and I have no excuse. I was gonna give like a big vloggy monologue about how I've had like a really freaky string of bad luck, like 4 days in a row, like a weird freakish thing happened to me each day. And yeah, it just kind of put me in like the weirdest mood and the weirdest space. Like I was just waiting for the next thing to go wrong, so I kind of just stopped doing everything. I haven't been stitching too much. I've been stitching on peacock pinwheels, and I'm actually pretty close to a finish on that one. I'm not going to finish it this month because today is the day that I am starting the Perennial border with Jen. Yay! We're both going to do it. We're both going to start it today. And I think we're both going to do it 1/1, which on 28 count, I think it comes out to be 8 inches by 8 inches, and on 32 count, it's 7 by 7. So today, I need to kit this up. I already have the specialty stuff. I showed that in my haul. But I need to check that I have the DMC, and I also need to figure out what kind of fabric it's going to go on. So this is what I'm looking at right now. That is the box of all my stuff that is waiting to be started. That's what I pulled this guy out of. Those are my bobbin boxes of DMC, so I can go through and see what I have and what I need. I also have a whole pile of unbobbinated floss that I bought when I started the black lace sampler, and it's all the colors for the middle, and I didn't even touch the middle, as you know. I did all the black first, but that's my process. So I have all those colors that I need to kind of double check and bobbinate just so I don't end up with a whole bunch of duplicates of stuff. And then those two baggies are my fabric. So I have some like miscellaneous fabric in that one. And that guy is embroidery fabric. That's what I called it. It's basically the higher counts of fabric that I bought when I wanted to try actual embroidery. Although the one on the top there is a 32 count, which is totally not like a weird count at all. I could probably use that one for for this if I wanted. And then I have, if I don't find anything that works or that I want to use, I'll probably have to run to Michael's today to get at least a couple of colors. I might have a look there. They never really have great fabric. They have a lot of Aida, but I don't really want to use Aida. And the even weave or the linen that they have is, I don't know, I'm just not the biggest fan of it. So my fallback is going to be what it always is, that 28 count tea-dyed that I have several rolls of in my closet. So, I'm going to have a look through this stuff and pull out all the threads, and then we will look at fabric. Alright guys, so those are the specialty threads that I got in my last haul, and I'm just starting to pull bobbins, and I thought I would show you the app that I use. I've talked about this a long time ago. This is my phone, by the way. I hope there's nothing embarrassing on it. There's not. Oh, and I have to do this left-handed. Okay, so it is this guy, Floss Checklist. It looks different now. It's not a horse anymore. I don't know why it was a horse. So this lets you keep track of all of your floss if you want. And a long time ago, I put all of my floss in it, but I'm sure it hasn't been updated. So for instance, one of the things this lets you do is it lets you make a shopping list. So these are the colors that I need to get so far. Two of these, $3.19, the top one, that's for Perennial border. The other two are ones that I went to Michael's for last time and they didn't have. So yeah, those are still in my shopping list. And also you can see, so they have this need button in green, and then they have a little arrow with a number. So for $3.19, you can see there's a 0 here. I absolutely don't have that one. $7.45, there's a 1. So either that means that it is in another project somewhere that I've kitted up, or it's incorrect. It's entirely possible that it's incorrect. Just because if it's 1, I never really trust it, because I may have gone through it and forgotten to take it out of my inventory. If it's like 2 or more, then I probably do have it. So for instance, the next color I need is 501. And I've just looked in my bobbin box and it's not here. There's 500 and 502. So then what I would do is I would go to DMC and pick 6 strand at the top, and then they let you filter down here. So I'm going to type in, whoops, this is hard to do looking through the viewfinder, 501. So that is dark blue green, and it says I have 2. So if I have 2, that means it's sitting in another project somewhere. One of them is, and the other one I have a full skein of in like where I keep my duplicates. So if it's 2 or more, I'm not going to put it on the shopping list to go to Michael's, because I probably do have it. But if you did want to put it on the shopping list, you just need to tap that need button, and then when you go back to the main menu and go to your shopping list, it's right there. So when I get to Michael's, I just bring up the shopping list and I pick up everything that I need, and then I just hit need again. I'm going to do it here for 501 because I know I don't need it. I hit need again, and then when you go back into your shopping list, it's gone. So when I go to Michael's, this is the screen I look at, and then I just ungreen all of the buttons and it takes everything off my shopping list. So that's what I do to, instead of like writing out a paper list. And yeah, so I'm going to continue finding my DMCs. Alright guys, so I found this scrap of 32 count natural silver. It's got like a little bit of sparkly in it. This is what's left of the fabric that I got to make a wedding sampler on last summer when my friend was getting married. And I did a piece 1/1 on that, and this is the rest of that fabric. So I just measured it, and it is 9.5 inches by like 8 up to here. So I think I'm gonna do the Perennial border on this. It should work. It's 38 count, which means I'll only need a 7x7 inch piece. And yeah, I think I'm gonna do it. I really like this. And it's a scrap, so if I can use it for this, that's perfect. And also, when I was looking at that fabric, I found this. This is a 32 count piece of marble linen, and I also have this baby. This is a 40 count linen, and this actually might work for Northwind, the Northwind pattern that I bought. If I stitch that one on 40 count, this piece would work. I'm not sure how I feel about this color. I might have to do some like color changes in the Northwind pattern, but that's nice to know because I hate shopping for fabric last minute because I think, like I just said, my Michael's Choice is like not great. So if I don't have anything that works in my stash, and my fabric stash is like this big, it's that bag and it's these two pieces plus all the stuff that I always use. And I love my like 28 count Monaco, but I don't necessarily want to stitch every possible like project for the rest of my life on it, just because that's kind of boring, even for me. So I love that something in my fabric stash will work. I will gladly do like color swaps on that pattern to use this piece because, yeah, and now like to order something, it would take some time to get here, and that's just a pain. So I'm excited about that. About either of these, truthfully, for that Northwind pattern, but I don't know if that one will work size-wise. I didn't do the stitch calculating on that one. This one would work though. So, let's go to Michael's, I guess. This is the specialty threads, as I said. These are the skeins of fabric that I have. Skeins of floss that I have. This blue looks really wacky. It's not that blue. And everything else is on my shopping list. So I'm going to go to Michael's and I will check in after lunch. Hey guys, I am back from Michael's. I have all of my colors and I'm going to start stitching on Perennial border. I'm excited and nervous. I'm going to start right in the middle and do the white part, I guess. I will update you later. Hey guys, so it's June 22nd today. It is about 8:30. I just woke up. I have just woke up voice. I'm going for lunch with my mom today, which I'm very excited about. But first, I'm going to just stitch for a couple hours before I even get ready. And I'm going to show you my progress from Perennial border. So I think I said yesterday that I was doing it 1/1. We were doing it 1/1. Cat's here. We're not. That I had like a mental block. We're not doing it 1/1. It's just very small. It's like 106 stitches square. So doing it like regular on 32 count is 7 inches by 7 inches. So I think I said that. That was wrong. I was wrong about that. And also they're specialty stitches. And so I'm not convinced that you can do specialty stitches over 1, I guess, unless they have an even number of boxes that they take up, right? Because you would have to have it. Anyways, so yeah, forget what I said about that. I put in quite a bit of work last night. I kind of want to get all the white done. That's all the center part. And then maybe start something else. I don't know what's happening to me, you guys, but I'm excited about starting things, so I'm going to start a couple things. Anyways, yeah, so I put in most of the white on the inside, and I'm kind of freaking out about this fabric because I think I said yesterday this is a scrap of fabric that I have left over from when I made a wedding sampler for my friend last year. I really like it, but it's like 9.5 inches, just over 9.5 inches by like 8 inches and a bit. And there's a serge line along the bottom, and I didn't count that because I can't stitch on that. So it's going to be like really tight on this piece of fabric. This, whatever it is, 6.5 inches square. So I'm kind of freaking out about that. I put in the very middle part, and then I measured it like 15 times and decided that it was over too far to one side, so I took it out and put it more in the middle. I do not have a lot of fabric to go around on this. And I really want to use this fabric
and obviously I am because I'm stitching on it, but I don't know. I don't know why it's come over me that of anything that I've stitched that I'd want to frame this one so badly. I mean, it's beautiful and it's more the style of something that I would frame. But I don't know. This is so unlike me to freak out about framing size, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm sure it's still going to be frameable if I choose to do that at the end. So let me show you what I did. So this is Perennial border. This is just all white DMC that's gone in so far. These kind of boxy stitches are supposed to be pulled very, very tight so that they look like, so that the holes are really big. And I have like a thing where I don't love to pull my stitches super tight. Even like my eyelets, I know those are supposed to be tight. I never pull them that tight. So I didn't pull those very tight. Jen, who I'm stitching this with, pulled them tight and they look awesome. So I think I just have like I just get freaked out about pulling stitches that tight, so I didn't do it. So that's what mine looks like. All of the cross stitches are supposed to be 1/2. I didn't realize that until I had put most of this stuff in. And I think I'm going to leave it. I think 2/2 is going to look okay. I was saying to Jen that if I had caught that, I would have done the white stitches in 1/2, and then all of the flowery stitches around the outside, I would have done those 2/2, so they look more like dense and fuller and kind of flower-like. But I didn't. I don't know. I was having a weird day yesterday, I guess, with the 1/1 comment, and then I like blanked on the pattern that I was supposed to do this with one strand. So I think it's just all going to be 2 strands. I think it looks good. I mean, it doesn't look too dense or like crazy. So that is Perennial border. This is the piece of fabric I was talking about. That's my laptop. So it's got 3 finished edges, 2 finished, one that's like serged, or the end of the piece, I guess. And so I didn't count that when I was counting my fabric area. And then the top is just cut from where I used my other fabric for that other sampler. So I just fray checked this edge really well, and I'm hoping that it won't go anywhere, although it has a little bit. You can see it's lower down here than it is up here. But I'm hoping that that won't go anywhere because I cannot lose any more area on this. But like as far as the pattern goes, here's the actual pattern. This inner square is what I've put in. So if I, say that roughly double that is going to be around the outside, I think I'll be okay. I think I'll be okay for fabric. So I'm going to work on this now this morning before I go meet my mom. Whoa, cat. Before I go meet my mom for lunch, and I will check in with you later.
Hey guys, it's June 24th. I uploaded my video yesterday about my double start situation. So I'm working on Perennial border right now, and I'll show you where I've gotten pretty far, but I feel like this is kind of a trickier pattern than I anticipated. Like I've made a lot of kind of stupid mistakes, and I've already changed one color. I changed the border backstitching color. So let me show you that. So this is what I've done so far. This is my new white center bit on my new piece of fabric. And I just started this backstitching last night. This is actually the top. It is in the pattern. Hydrangea is the top one, but I guess you could make it, whatever one you wanted. So I changed this color. It was charted for 3022 DMC, which the description of 3022 is medium brown gray, I think, but it's green. It's green. I even Googled it because I was paranoid that I had like the wrong floss on my bobbin. I Googled 3022 and it's green. And actually it's on my table. Let me just get it. So this is 3022, and I can see how it's kind of like a muted earthy color, but like it's green. It's green to me, and I was worried that it wasn't going to show up very well as the writing. So the one I picked instead, I was looking for like a taupier, well, this color. I wanted this color. So I picked 646, which is much more gray. There's lots of green in this border, the actual flower border, so I just didn't want the writing to be green. And this is green, right? I'm not going crazy. That's green.
So that's where I am on Perennial border. I'm happy with this switch. I think this is much more neutral. And like I said, there's plenty of green in it, so I don't think the border needs to be green too. The other thing I just noticed about this pattern that's kind of bugging me is, so this backstitching in Aster, the T in this, well, firstly I should say I love this backstitching. I think it's so pretty. I love this font style. But the T in Aster and the T in Violet are different. The cross of the T is lower on this one than it is on this one. And I just noticed over here when I stitched Aster, and I thought about making them the same, but I don't really like this one that much. Now that I'm looking at it, I want that to be higher. So I made this one higher, and now I'm debating whether or not to go back and pull some of this out to bump up that cross of the T. I know that's kind of silly, but here's my back. P.S. It's super messy. And it looks like I do have a tail here. So, I don't know. That might be doable, or it might be a huge pain in the butt. I might put in the last kind of leg of backstitching, and then we'll see what I decide. I was also thinking maybe of starting Death by Cross Stitch tonight, if it's not super overwhelming, because this is as far as I wanted to get on this, kind of for this month or whatever. I just wanted to put in the lettering, and then when I pick it back up, I'll just pick a section and do like the color, the flower part, and the specialty stitch, I think. So yeah, that's my plan for tonight, and I will catch up with you guys tomorrow. Hey guys, it's June 24th today. I started Death by Cross Stitch last night, and I made just the tiniest start on it. I'm gonna work on it some more right now. And it's Pride Week. It's actually the Pride Parade day today in my city, and I've never seen it before really, because I've either always been working or I was at my parents' house and I just didn't make the effort to come down. But now that I live downtown, Pride Parade is going right down my street. So I might try and get a little bit of footage of that. And happy Pride for those of you that are celebrating it and observing it and being awesome. Yeah, it's a little overcast right now, and it's supposed to rain today, and I hope it doesn't, because I would really like for that to be a great parade. So I'm going to stitch a little bit on Death by Cross Stitch, and I will catch up with you later.
So the Pride Parade went by. Pretty good, I think, for our like little medium-sized city. It was really fun. It's like chilly out though. It just started to rain a little bit before they came through, and then it cleared up. God bless everyone who like had their shirts off because it's like 12 degrees outside. So that's fun. And now I'm gonna get back to my stitching. Oh, and also my cat is very freaked out. I was out on the balcony and he could not figure out what was going on. Hey guys, it's June 27th today, and I have 2 days off starting now, and then I work 3 days, and then I have 2 days off, and then I work 5 days, and then I'm on vacation. Yay! I think. I don't really know how the scheduling of that last week is gonna go, but vacation is coming soon, and I am very excited. I don't usually book time off in the summer because I've never been, like in my last couple of jobs, I've been full-time, but someone has had like vacation precedence over me, so I've never like been able to book off. I would just get whatever time. Anyways, complicated. And then in this job, I didn't ever book time off because I was part-time for a really long time. So my hours were not guaranteed, and they're still not guaranteed. I just have a little bit more security than I have had in the past. So I'm taking a week off in July. And then, well, five days, and then I'm taking off, so I don't think I've talked about this yet. I'm taking off the very end of August and the first week of September because I'm going to Bumbershoot in Seattle, the music festival. I'm so excited. I've been to Seattle once before with my parents. I really liked it. I really like Seattle, but I'm going by myself, and I'm going to Bumbershoot. So if there are any Seattle area stitchers watching this, I'm going to be at Bumbershoot in September. Yay! I'm pretty excited about that. Yeah, but for July, I have zero plans to do anything. Gonna hang some pictures, I think, and hang out with my parents. My dad's retired, obviously. My mom is, she works for the school board, and she works she gets the summers off like the kids do. Her office is closed over the summer. She's not a teacher. Sorry about that, guys. Abrupt edit. My memory card was full, and also then when I plugged in my camera to dump all the footage onto my computer, my battery was dead. So I think what I was talking about was how my mom is also off for the summer. So in July, like, it won't matter if it's the weekend or not. I'll be able to see my parents all the time, which is really exciting. And that's all I was gonna say. So what a shame that my camera died and everything happened right at the end of my whole spiel. I'm gonna work on Death by Cross Stitch today. I'm very into it, and I was gonna show it to you, but now my camera is plugged into the wall, so we will save that for tomorrow, I think. Let me get a little bit more progress in on it, and I will show you then. Okay, see you guys later. Good light right here, right? What am I doing? Is that backlighting? Good light right here. Hey guys. Oh my god. I haven't spoken a lot today yet, so I'm a little rusty. Hey guys, it's June 28th today. I had the best day yesterday. It wasn't technically my day off, but it was my last day working before my days off, and because I'm done so early in the day, like yesterday I had a short day, so I was done at 11. It just seems like you have like a whole day after that day, providing you're not like exhausted from getting up early for the last 5 days. Anyways, I stitched so much yesterday. I got so much done on Death by Cross Stitch. I'm going to show you that in a second. My plan for today is I'm going over to my parents tonight. My aunt lent my mom Zootopia, so we're going to go watch that. I think that'll be kind of fun. And also, my dad has not been feeling great the last few days. He has made it a lot farther, though, than he did last time before he felt this way. Last chemo, he was scheduled for 6 treatments, and I think he did 2 full ones. Then he was in the hospital with a fever and like an infection, and they pushed back the 3rd one, and then when he finally did get to the 3rd one, his immunity was so low that he ended up getting like a half dose for the last ones. So this time, he just finished his 3rd treatment last week, his 3rd full one, and he's been doing well.
but you know that it's cumulative, so it gets worse as you go. So he's got 3 more, but it's been pretty amazing, the difference that this cocktail of drugs has been. He's not doing the same chemo that he did last time. He's doing a slightly different one, and he's just been able to hang on a lot longer. And also, something that I was talking to my mom about that we both kind of forgot was the first time he did chemo, he was coming right off of but very soon after his surgery, where they actually removed part of his colon and took the tumor out, and he had been so sick for like months before that. Like when they got back from Cuba in February, he was so sick, like he couldn't keep any food down. And my mom and I thought like he got something in Cuba. We thought it was some kind of parasite, and then we started to wonder if he was sensitive to something he was eating, and so we wasted so much time because we just didn't know what it was, and we just kept assuming that it would pass, and it didn't happen every day. That's the thing. It happened until, this is kind of gross, I'm sorry, but so there was this tumor in his colon that was like blocking everything off. Not by itself, but it was leaving like a very, very small opening. So every few weeks, depending on what he ate, it would just totally block up, and then he would be so sick while his body was trying to like pass anything. And then it would like clear. The tumor was still there, obviously, but then a couple more weeks would go by, and then he would just eat something so like it wasn't, if it was happening every day, he would have been like in the emergency room, but it was just happening every few weeks, so we didn't know what it was. But when we finally found out what it was, and then he got the surgery, and then he went kind of straight into chemo, he was really, really weak from being sick for so long. He had lost so much weight. His body was not healthy. So I'm thinking, my mom and I are thinking now that the difference in this time too is also that he had gotten a lot healthier in between his 2 chemos. Like he had come back a lot. He had put a lot of weight back on, and he was just generally healthier. So my timeline for all of these events is so confused in my head. I don't have the best memory for like places and things, and like like capsule memories or whatever you call them, where like you just perfectly remember, like birthdays or something like that. I'm terrible at remembering stuff like that. Every memory that I have is just like a very soft, free form. Like I couldn't tell you what year it was, So my mom and I were trying to really pin down all of these events that had happened since it started, and so it's made us think that the situation is quite a bit different this time. So that might be some of the reason why he's doing so much better. Anyways, geez, I'm going to see my parents tonight, but before that, I'm going to stitch. It's like 10 a.m. right now, and then I'm planning on, when a little bit of sun gets out into my balcony, which will be like early afternoon because of the side that I face, I'm gonna lay out for a little bit. And I don't do that a lot because I do have pretty sensitive skin, and I'm pretty pale and have a lot of moles, and it's just, I can't be, tempting fate with the with the skin cancer. But I always get really self-conscious this time of year of how pale I am. I don't mind being pale. Let me say this another way. I like being pale. I think it looks good with my skin, or my hair and my eyes, and I just think it complements the other features that I have. But I hate being see-through. Like, I'm one of those people that I'm just translucent. You can see every vein on my body, and I think that's so gross. I don't mind being pale. I'd rather just be like white instead of like see-through. So tanning doesn't necessarily help that, but it helps a little bit. Yeah, so I've been planning to do it on my days off for the past few weeks, but it's always been like cloudy on the day that I want to do it. And today it is like beautiful. It's blue sky, it's clear, it's sunny, but it's not super hot. So I'm gonna get my SPF 60 on, which is what I wear. My SPF 60, and I wear 30 on my face every day. You guys, if you're pale, you gotta watch it. And I'm going to lay out for a little bit and read my book. And then after that, I'll probably get cleaned up because, I'm going to be super hot. So that's my plan for the day. I'm excited. And I hope this day goes as planned. So let me show you Death by Cross Stitch. So this is what I have for, oh my god, my voice is still wonky. This is what I have done on Death by Cross Stitch. You can see this beautiful little horse here, which is actually a unicorn, but you can't tell yet because the actual like horn, it's the part I haven't stitched. So that is what I did last night. It doesn't look like a ton of work, like nothing on this will, but it is a billion tiny stitches. So that is where I am on that.
Hey guys, so I just got back in from my laying out. Look how shiny I am. I don't know if you can see that. Mission accomplished, I think, except now I'm like a huge grease ball. And the water was off in my building and I did not realize. I'm sure they posted something about it, but I haven't been out of the apartment since like yesterday at 2 p.m. So it's entirely possible I missed that. Seems to be back on now though, which is good so that I can shower and not go over to my parents looking like a huge grub. Hey guys, it's June 30th today. I just paid my rent. Yay! I'm an adult. Funny story, I was gonna vlog yesterday, but I had to get some dental work done. I didn't have any cavities or anything, but I had, do you even need to know this? Probably not, but so I had like pits in 3 of my teeth, and it was erosion, not decay, is what she said. So they weren't cavities. They were probably just from like eating too many like popcorn kernels or like corn nuts or whatever. It was like my main chewing teeth, 2 on one side, top and bottom, and then 1 bottom on the other side. And so last time I was in, she was like, we should just fill those up, just because you might in the future have a problem with like an exposed root, and then if that happens, then you'll have to have like an emergency situation, and that wouldn't be good, so we could fill them now if you want. And I was like, sure. So we made the appointments, and I did not anticipate, I mean, this is logical in hindsight, but I didn't think about it enough. So I had my right side yesterday, top and bottom, 1 tooth on the top, 1 tooth on the bottom, filled again, like a cavity, even though there was no real cavity there. I did not anticipate like freezing or drilling. Here's why. All of the cavities that I've had in my adult teeth have been small enough that I didn't need freezing for them. And I don't know if that's weird, but that's just how it's always been. I've never had freezing, and I've never really had drilling, I don't think, for any cavities. The first time I had freezing, I think, was when I had my wisdom teeth out. And so I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, like, I'm asking like the hygienist. She said, are you going back to work today? Because it was at like 1 o'clock. And I said, no, actually I'm done for the day. She was like, oh, that's good. And I said, so I was thinking, like, do I have to watch what I eat for a couple days? Like, I didn't realize that it would just be like a filling, like how you get a cavity filled, and then, you know, they like set it right away. And she was like, nope, it'll just be like your jaw and your tongue and stuff. And I was like, what? And then the dentist came and did that, you know, they do that like numbing swab. And I was like, oh shoot. So I don't have a huge issue actually with the dentist. I know wisdom teeth was kind of horrible because it's just gross, it sounds gross, and it's just weird it's one of those things you can't think about too much. Like, you know, when they're putting the freezing in and you're thinking, okay, if I think right now about that needle going in, it's going to freak me out a lot more than if I just stare at the ceiling, and because you don't feel anything, right? I mean, maybe you feel some pressure, but it's all mental. So yeah, so I was gonna vlog yesterday, but then half my face was frozen. And I don't think I'm ready to share that particular type of an embarrassing moment. I mean, I know I had that 1 month where I was like really, really sick and I just looked super gross all month, that month, and then last month I just openly cried. But I'm not ready to show you my like frozen dentist face yet. So I got those 2 done, and it's funny because I've been so used to them being kind of like jagged. I don't know how to explain it, but just because they've always had these little like, yeah, pits in them. It's like little chunks that have broken off. This makes me sound really unhealthy. I don't know. She said it was normal. And now they're so smooth. It feels like I have like veneers on those 2 teeth. Like, they feel like fake teeth to me because they're so not bumpy, and like they're not my teeth. So anyways, I got those 2 done. I'm happy that it was the 2 first, because I think I would have freaked out about it a little bit more if I had done 1 and then 2 the second time. But now next week I just have the other 1 on the left side to do. So I didn't vlog yesterday. I worked on Death by Cross Stitch, and I'm going to work on Death by Cross Stitch today. And then July 1st, which is tomorrow, Canada Day. Happy Canada Day, fellow Canadians. It's Chatelaine time because Sarah got her Chatelaine kit in for, what's it called? I can't remember. Kitchen garden, French kitchen thing. I'm the worst. She put a video up on it, and it was really nice, and she did it in her backyard, and it was such nice like scenery to look at too. So I'll link that video down below if you want to see what Sarah got for her Chatelaine. So, and she wants to start it. Of course she does, because you wait for those kits forever. So Sarah and I and Jessie Marie and Tracy, I can't remember if you're actually in or not. You're probably going to be in. We're going to work on Chatelaines for the first month of July, which is good because I haven't worked on mine like at all this year, maybe. Is that right? So it's time for me to work on the Chatelaine. So that's exciting. That's what I'm going to be doing starting tomorrow. But stopping on Death by Cross Stitch is a little bittersweet because I've been really enjoying it. And I'll talk about this more in my whip update, but I think it has something to do with the fact that there's so many different patterns in it, and it can be broken down into such like manageable chunks. I say that as I'm on the first page. Like, it's not like, you know, I've stitched half of it or something already. But I'm really enjoying it. So kind of a bummer to put that guy down, but it's Chatelaine time. So that'll be it for me for this vlog. I'm not going to show you Death by Cross Stitch because I don't want to give away how much progress I've made. So you'll see that in my whip update. And I will see you guys next month. Thanks for watching. Bye.